Alright, so this is a 400M. This is a 1982 f250 Ford Explorer. It's a 400M. This is part 2 of the problem with the timing. The gear was completely chewed up for the cam, and I did notice I showed you guys the gear in part 1, but I had another update. Check out the exhaust. So I put 2 new cherry bombs and all. I welded up all this exhaust on there, straight pipe to them to the back, you know. And look, one's like the paint. It's probably powder coat and it's gone, and that one's red. So that means that got hot, real hot, driver's side. And so it's 4-wheel drive. And then also, I just haven't seen a lot of videos on people doing this, so I just want to tell you what I did. So to get the engine up, basically I used a jack. I cut this to 19 inches. I got a 2x9 under the pan, and I just cut some posts, put them as blocks under the motor, and that way you can get to all the bolts and everything. I unhooked both exhausts. I sprayed some PB Blaster on there first, let that sit for a while, and then heated each bolt housing, like around the bolt up. I never heat the bolt up because then it might snap, so I just heated up around the bolt. Got everything real hot for probably like 2 minutes or so with MAP gas, and then I stopped, and then I let it cool down a little bit so that way it didn't snap from being too hot. So I probably waited like, I don't know, 30 seconds to a minute and let it cool down a little bit after it was all warmed up and everything. And it popped, they both, all 4 of them popped right off. No problem. You know, you just basically got to disconnect the exhaust adder. This one I had to cut because it's custom. So I'm going to have to weld that one back when I'm done, but no big deal. It's pretty easy for me. And then so I disconnected this is a manual transmission. I disconnected both of these. I disconnected the boots up in the driver's cab. You know, just pull the 4 bolts out, stick them in your ashtray or something, you know, and pull the boot up just so it don't get caught up on the boot. And I disconnected this wire. I'm not exactly sure. Looks like it goes to the tranny, but I'm not positive. But I put a screw in here to hold it a while back, and so I just disconnected that so it's a little loose. These 2 bolts here, and then the exhaust, and the shifter. So sorry about the camera, but the shifter linkage. I disconnected the spring from the clutch, or I think that's clutch. Yeah, clutch. And then I disconnected the shifter. I don't know. Maybe that's the shifter and that's the clutch. I'm not sure. But I disconnected this thing. There's a clip right here, and then there's 2 bolts up here, like right here and here. Basically, just take these 2 bolts off, take that clip out. There's 2 clips. They just pull out on the actual mechanism, which is, it's gone. I could show you in a second, but it's not under here. It's gone. So basically, just disconnect everything that, you know, might get hung up when you're lifting the motor. And then also, I took the starter. There's just 2 bolts. Took the starter off. I don't really know why. It told me to. Basically, really, I think maybe just the wire could have been disconnected, and I probably would have been fine without removing the starter. But it might give me problems later on down the road, like getting the pan back in. So I just did what the book said. Alright, and then so yeah, I got this thing way up in the air. You know what I mean? It might even be a little too far up in the air, but I wanted to make sure I had enough room under here. There's plenty of room, that's for sure. Almost too much room because it's kind of a hard reach. So then there's a bolt. You know, there's this wire here. It goes to the ground. You could either disconnect it here or disconnect it to the motor. So that way your starter cables, this goes to the starter. So that's just away from the engine and loose. You can see the two blocks that I put up under there. But yeah, now that oil pan should come right out, and after that it's just basically the reverse of the installation. But I just wanted to show you because there's not a lot of videos showing you what to disconnect under there, and it's actually pretty damn easy. So where's those other pieces? So here, I showed you this in the last video, but the teeth on this thing are just gone. Somebody said it was rubber. I don't see any rubber, but I do notice it's like an aluminum. So I actually got a roller chain now. It's a, you know, a dual sprocket Edelbrock. But yeah, here's that mechanism. So this thing, these were the two bolts that I was talking about on the transmission. You just disconnect those two bolts, and then you pull these pins. I just put them back so that when I put it back together, I know where everything's at. And then you disconnect this pin here, because it has to be able to pull out, because there's like a ball that it slips into, and there's also these little plastic pieces. You don't want to lose those. And then on here there's actually like a little clip. Mine was really brittle and I might have to order something new, but where's it at? Yeah, it's right here. See this little piece right here? This little plastic piece went over that. Just something for it to slide on. It's so brittle. But yeah, I'm gonna have to get a new one. I think there was two other bolts too that I had to do. Oh yeah, the engine mounts. So there's just two bolts for the engine mounts. That's it. Real simple. Here's part of that clutch housing. You know what I mean? Like this thing, like, goes on the end of here basically for your clutch adjustment. You know, and it just pops off like that. But this goes into something else. I don't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, there's just two bolts for the starter, and then the power wire, and that was it. So yeah, this harmonic balancer, it's actually has marks, and I believe for this one it's 6 degrees before top dead center. So I'm not sure if my water pump comes with a new plate, so I'm gonna have to clean that up. And then I got a brand spanking new water pump and all the seals. So yeah, once I get everything all sealed up, I might do another video, like a part 3, we'll see. But until then, I just wanted to give you an update on that exhaust. Like, wow, see how it's, you know, dual exhaust out the back. And I didn't want to cut right there. I don't care if water gets in there, I want it flat. You know, it's just gonna blow out. It's not gonna end up in the motor or nothing. So, but yeah, that thing is black. Like, that thing got hot. So, you know, worst case scenario, I gotta pull the heads off. You know, if the pistons are fried, which I doubt, but if they were, you know, I could just. It's really not that hard. You could just pull. You know, I'd pull the motor right out. You know, and then I would send the block to the machine shop and they can hone it out, and then I'd drop these heads off at like O'Reilly's or something in some automotive shop and just give them the old ones, and they'll give me back new ones, and I'll just pay them to do it, and it'll be like brand new, because you can just drop your old ones off and then pick up brand new ones. But I hear that you don't want to have them build your whole engine because the seals that they use are really bad. So just get like a short block and some heads instead of getting like the long block. That way you could torque down your own, you know, they could do everything, and then you could just put the gaskets on and torque it down. So, I guess I could show you the new parts right now. Show you everything I got that's new. I'm just real happy that I got that engine to come up as high as I did. I didn't think it would come up at all because of the manual transmission. So a lot of people might be thinking the same thing. I also got a new thermostat for that truck and for the car. But so I got new oil. You know, I'm just putting cheap oil for now because I'm probably gonna have to do it again right afterwards. Probably not gonna wait that long. I'll probably just run it for a little bit and then put some full synthetic in there in the next time. But yeah, I got, you know, all new water pump, pan cover seals. The water pump came with some of the same seals, and it's missing some seals like the. But here's the new chain that I got. Edelbrock. It's pretty sick. 7821 speed set forward 351 400 timing. Yeah, it's a dual roller. Dual rolling chain. Come on. Open up. Open up. Yeah, it's a dual. See how, this is what I'm talking about. It's got the dual. And these puppies don't stretch as much. They're high performance. And right away I could tell that this cam gear, it's got some weight to it. It's not that cheap aluminum fucking cam that they had in there. Shit. Sorry. But yeah, it was not good. It just kind of pisses me off that they got such a crappy cam in there. And I should have caught it. I mean, most people, like, you could tell, I could tell the timing was off, and I wanted to actually put a new timing chain in it. But I didn't, it's so much work because of the oil pan. And that's what makes people not want to do it, is that oil pan. And it is a pain in the ass, but honestly, now that I know how to do it, it's pretty simple. Like, it's not even that hard, but the worst part is not knowing how to do it. Like, not knowing what to disconnect and not sure if it's going to come up all the way. I might have messed something up. Who knows? Hopefully not. You know? But now I can get all that metal shaving that was in there out. Because it's probably just full of metal down in there. I drained the oil. It wasn't much in there. But I know it is in there because I seen it like all around this edge right here. So anyway, yeah, after this is going, and I got a couple other projects. I got the Dodge, which I have a machine block ready to go for this with 0.20 over pistons, so I could take everything off of this motor, which runs, but it has a cracked block. I could fire it up right now, and that sounds great, and it'll start on the first try. But it's got a cracked block, so this is my baby. Like, this is gonna be my puller. But I probably won't start on that yet. I'll probably start on this just because it's all apart. I got like 4 different transfer cases, so I'm sure I can make one of those work. And I have all the parts to put this thing together. So, and then this one, I hit a deer with it, and it only needs a radiator and obviously a bumper and some lights and a grill, but it runs. Like, you could actually see the hair that's stuck in it from the deer that did I say elk? It was a deer. It was a buck. Like, look at the hair, it's stuck into the light. That's all hair from that deer. Poor buck. Someone actually grabbed it and he brought it home, and he ate it. It's probably already eaten, so don't feel bad for the deer. Be happy that someone had some amazing food in their belly. And then also, I got this guy that I believe is just a computer, because a guy, I thought he knew what he was doing. He's an older dude back in this was a while ago actually, but he hooked the ground, like I put a new fuel injection in it, and he hooked the power wire that goes to the fuse box to the ground. Like, it was so simple, and there was only a couple wires that I had to install, and I let him do it. I don't know why. I should have told him to get lost. He acted like he knew what he was doing. He didn't have a freaking clue, because he grounded out my positive, goes to my power box, and I'm pretty sure it fried the computer. All the lights came on, but not the fuel injection. Like, I couldn't hear the pump or anything come on, which is weird. It got power, like, to the cluster panel and everything lit up, but it just wouldn't turn over, and there was no, actually I don't remember, I don't think it turned over, but there was no, I couldn't even hear the fuel pump come on. So, and then I got a 76 Chevy. This one has a 454 in it, and I would love to build this as well. And then what else I got? I got a Geo. I might turn that into a little go-kart or something. It's 3-cylinder. I might just hack the roof off or something. Turn it. Anybody got any ideas for that one? And then this is my cousin Austin's rock crawler. Y'all ever seen what do they call it? Grind Hard Plumbing. You know that bike that they built? You know how his tires were square and he cut all the knobs off? Should just use those tires. They're already nice and round. I'm pretty sure they come like that. I don't know, maybe it was the only tires he had. This trailer, I think I got some videos on this. I only paid $250 for this thing, and it was like half the size of what it is now. I just used like old bed frame and stuff. I did frames around the lights and everything. In this shop, I think I'm gonna make it up higher, longer. That back wall comes off, so I wanna lengthen it up. Maybe do a lean-to off the side, and an overhang off the front. But the door, I'm gonna have to come straight across on the top right there, so that triangular roof can come out. I think, yeah, because if not, the door would hit, you know what I mean, when it opens. So basically, I'm gonna have to weld a bar going across the top, and then permanently install the triangle on top. And that way I could build out just a roof, so I have an overhang to work off under, and then make it longer, and then I can do a lean-to off the side, and then enclose the entire thing, maybe. So, yeah, lots of projects. But yep, so I'll when I get everything slapped together, and you know, I'll keep you guys updated. Anyway, so this is part 2. Stay tuned for part 3.